postgame, and good evening from downtown Pittsburgh on a cold January night that sees this Steelers team defeated yet again in the playoffs, held to just 6 points as this Houston Texan defense was all that and then some. And as Aaron Rodgers walks off the field, you can't help but ponder if this is indeed the last time we'll watch him play. There are questions as well regarding the longest tenured head coach in the National Football League. That's Mike Tomlin. He would have a job tomorrow, whether it be coaching or in television, if he were no longer here in Pittsburgh. C.J. Stroud, not his best night, but this time of year, all you want is 60 minutes more on the clock, and they'll have it in Foxborough, where they will be, and we will be on Sunday. Danielle Hunter and this Houston Texan defense absolutely terrifying tonight, as this Steelers team could do nothing. The Texans defense scored 2 touchdowns. The Steelers had none on the night. 30-6 is how this wild card weekend wraps up, with the most emphatic victory of the week. And it's a 10-6 game in the fourth, still hanging around, and so often Pittsburgh is able to figure out a way to win a game such as this. But Will Anderson Jr. knocks it out. Sheldon Rankins, as you heard perhaps Will Anderson Jr. share with Laura Rutledge, he dreamed it was going to happen. The scoop, the score, and D'Amico Ryans and the sideline explode as that moved the margin to 11, which made it feel nearly impossible at that point. And now it's just a matter of what's the final score going to be. At 24-6, Kalen Bullock, not only the pick, but as he works it down the sideline, he avoids the shot from Rodgers. He takes it in for the second touchdown of the night for this Texans defensive squad. And Rodgers and Pittsburgh are defeated soundly. Again, it's the 7th consecutive loss for them. First ever road win, if we spin it a bit more positively, in the playoffs for the Houston Texans. We get up to the booth. It's Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. And Joe, the last 2 games that you all have called, we saw an amazing performance from the Seattle Seahawks defense, the 1 seed in the NFC, and now this from Houston. This feels like the type of thing that could propel them on to a Super Bowl. What most impressed you about that side?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. This is a defense that is so good at every level. We talked about it multiple times during the night. It was hard not to. I mean, they were just overwhelming. Aaron Rodgers, it looked like he had no room to do anything. And it was just one of those nights for this Texans defense, and they can just come at you from the edges. They can come at you up the gut. They're really good. And I tell you, with our matchup next week, we've got 2 defenses that'll come flying into that game. Last night, the Patriots sacked Justin Herbert 6 times. And if there's a reason why they got past L.A., it's because of the defense. So to me, these are 2 wild card wins that are complements of the defensive units on each team. And we'll see how that shakes out next weekend at Foxborough.
Troy, the unforced errors for C.J. Stroud, obviously a concern, but how easy or difficult might they be to clean up between now and next Sunday?
Well, those mistakes will be easy to clean up. I think the challenging part is what exactly is going to be the status of Nico Collins.
Sure.
It's a big loss if he's unable to play. This game coming in, we talked about it. We expected it to be a low-scoring game. It was for a majority of the time. The defense then kind of breaks it wide open, but I think C.J. Stroud will come back next week. He'll be just fine. The good news for them is they've really been inconsistent offensively, and they've not run the ball particularly well, but tonight they really did. And so that will be another key in this game next week against New England. As Joe said, they've played pretty good defense themselves. So I would expect it to be another low-scoring game going in. But it will bode awfully well for C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans if they can get that running game going with Woody Marks and Nick Chubb again next week like they did tonight.
I'd like to ask you both on the way out about a guy that you've covered that spans literally lifetimes, different teams, different networks, different times in all of our lives, right? And that's Aaron Rodgers, and I heard you talking about it at the end. If this is indeed the end, that's a wrap. We put the book on the shelf. How do you guys both sort of view his place in the game?
I mean, I'll let him go because you played this position, and And when Aaron Rodgers was at his best, man, we saw a guy that just could use his legs, his arm, throw off, any platform, whatever you want to say. The guy was unmatched.
Yeah, I mean, as far as how you rank him and all that, I mean, and the numbers speak for themselves and what he's been able to accomplish. I never imagined, to be honest with you, that Aaron Rodgers would play into his 40s, and I'm not so sure that he did either. It's hard to believe, if you go back to 2010, when he won his Super Bowl, that would be the only Super Bowl he would get to play in. And then also that's the last time the Pittsburgh Steelers have made the Super Bowl as well. I mean, that was a long time ago, but it just kind of tells you that you really can't count on anything. As young as those teams were, and as young as Mike Tomlin was, and Aaron Rodgers, and this is a disappointing end to what has been a great career. But the end usually doesn't happen the way you want it to. John Elway is one of the few, but he had a great career, and he's among the tops for sure.
Yeah, and I think just to wrap up with Aaron, I mean, it hasn't been without controversy off the field. On the field, he's been sensational to watch and been a total professional. Off the field, he is himself, and for some people, they get rubbed the wrong way, but he's kind of always been there, willing to say how he feels. He's interesting. And I think in a day and age where professional athletes kind of retreat to the old cliches, he's been an interesting guy to follow. He's always been very open and honest with us. He's been a joy to watch, and, this game will miss him if this is the end.
As you both described, time passing. It has a way of slipping by more quickly than any of us imagine. And if it is the end, it's been a remarkable run for him. Look forward to our time together next week in Foxborough, fellas. Travel well, and we will catch up there.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks so much, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. As we look ahead to the weekend, undoubtedly you're hanging with bated breath, or maybe that's just our friends in the industry wondering, where are we going next week? 4:30. Eastern, Buffalo and Denver. Then Fox will have the 1 seed Seattle welcoming San Francisco. Both the Bills and the Niners on short weeks as they played Sunday and won on the road, and now will be traveling west. And then Sunday, the 3 o'clock game will be in Foxborough for that one, as this Houston defense goes in to take on the 2-seeded Patriots, who used their defense to knock the Chargers out last night. And then it'll be the Bears and the Rams from frigid Soldier Field. That will wrap up the divisional weekend. Our friends on NBC will be bringing you that one. Mike Tomlin has just sat down at the podium. What do we know about his future? We'll get his thoughts on that as yet another postseason ends with a loss here in Pittsburgh. Plus, Stan Steve in the building. The worst beats from the college football season. Those are on the way from Pittsburgh. We'll see you in just a moment.
Thanks for watching Monday Night Postgame, presented by Nationwide.